Sounds good. Well, first of all, thank you for the nomination for the Science Day VP. And then now myself, my name is Nico Cornejo-Lopez. I'm currently a sophomore majoring in electrical and computer engineering. And I've been with SHIP since my freshman year, and I've thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. SHIP has given me many learning opportunities and resources to prepare myself for a professional side of life that I had not known before. It has also given me a family in which I am proud to be part of. I'm running for the position of Science Day VP because this event has impacted me the most. It was the first event that I'd ever attended freshman year. It was fun to help plan each event and get to know the others who were involved in the event as well. Not only was it personally fun, but it's great to be able to spread engineering to the youth, especially since this is an event that I wish I could have had when I was in middle school. In my freshman year, I helped with the planning of the events, and then on the day of the event, I was helping with the different events and I was assisting the workshop leaders. Then this year, since I started to get the hang of how Science Day operated, I was a workshop leader along with helping plan the different logistics of the event. I was a workshop leader for the IBM workshop, which was very fun. I had a great time teaching younger kids about circuits, and I would happily be able to do it again. Being a workshop leader put a whole new perspective on Science Day since I was the one actually teaching the topics. It was a very rewarding experience, and now that I've gone through both stages of helping out with Science Day, I believe I'm ready to lead the Science Day event as a whole. Not only have I participated in both perspectives, but I've also participated in two totally different situations with COVID. One being in person my freshman year, and our second time being on COVID where it's all online. This gave me one more perspective that nothing can stop us. We're hard workers and we can make anything happen if we put our minds to it. This event is very important to me, so it'll be one of my top priorities when the time gets here. One of the unlucky situations that occurred with COVID was that schools backed out, and they have before in the past too. So one of the main things I want to try to is try to improve on is like getting schools as early as possible and trying to reach out to different schools as well to make sure that we can get the most schools as possible. Now, for other things I would like to improve for next semester, well, at least it all depends on the COVID situation. Being that I have been a part of Science Day during both COVID and not COVID, I feel like I'm prepared to adapt to this. And so for my plan, if there is COVID, I want to try to create more hands-on workshops since because of COVID, it had to be online. We had to do a lot more interactive things that had to be done on the computer, which is great. However, personally for me, and I know a couple of people, many other people as well, engineering is very fun when it's hands-on and you can actually build something with your own hands and see it in the physical world. And also, if I did not have COVID, I'd want to bring back old events such as Science of Baseball and then also want to do more in-person events, like I said. Um, and then on top of that, for both COVID and no COVID, I want to try to expand the topics of engineering that are going to be presented during Science Day. I have two, and also, well, speaking of which, I have connections with two of the clubs that would also want to kind of incorporate, not really, take ideas from. Um, I have ties with the one of the aerospace clubs where we would make rockets and we would launch them, and it would just be and we can also incorporate this to Science Day by keeping maybe like a rocket science workshop, just basics of math and how just kind of just basics of how rockets work. And then I'm also involved with some of the agricultural engineering clubs where uh, we make little kind of like greenhouses, so we can get more into the plant side of things as well, since that is also a major part of um, the engineering field. So all in all, one of the things I want to do, pretty much I just want to expand clubs overall. No, sorry. Let's expand the majors of that are talking about in Science Day overall. And that's about it. I hope, yeah, that's about it. That's my speech.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that speech. Good speech.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll open it up to the floor for questions. So 2 questions, guys. And anybody can ask a question on chat or speak up.
Hey, Nico, great speech, man. So you mentioned you wanted to probably bring in some more schools, expand it in a way a little. Do you foresee any issues like in logistics of like how many kids are going to be coming to the event, and also like COVID protocols if that is still a thing in the fall?
Yeah, so I personally think that if there is COVID protocols still happening in next semester, I feel like it'd be a lot easier to incorporate more schools, being that we can do stuff remotely. We don't need a large area and different rooms to incorporate, and then I also like to place all these students. However, you're correct. If we do it in person, there are going to be issues. So I probably have to limit the amount of schools depending on how many schools that we could potentially get, so that logistically it makes sense and it would run more smoothly. So I would probably say the cap for schools would be around 5. That's because trying to think. So I forgot how many schools we had in freshman year. I know we had like, I think we had 4 or 5-ish. But yeah, and that worked pretty smoothly. And I think we can also do stuff outside as well. Because like the science of baseball, that one was outside in the Highland Bowl, and so that was pretty easy to accommodate. Okay, yeah. So Juven just said to clarify, there was 4 were planned, but 3 came in the end. Um, so yeah, I think we could get to 5 in person, and then we can even go higher online since it's easier to accommodate.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anybody else? If not, do have a question for Nico. But
Okay.
you. Nobody. Okay, Nico. So my question for you is, as Science AVP and as an outreach event coordinator, one of your duties is to be able to work well and to have a good relationship with the director of operations. How do you plan on handling any conflicts that you may have, if any, come about with the director of operations and trying to plan out Science Day?
Well, first of all, I would probably not even try to get any conflicts. One of the main things I want to do with as a whole with eBoard, and especially with director of operations, would be to stay in constant communication on where I'm at and what I plan to be doing, so that there's no issues in what they might think I'm doing versus what I would be actually doing. So one of the main things is communication and keeping them along with the whole process. And if there is conflict, I have been in situations with teams where there has been conflict, and I feel like I have a pretty good sense of how conflict resolution, how to meet the middle, and other things like that.
All right, thank you. And that's it for Nico. So round of applause for Nico.